Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. All right, let me fill you in on what you're going to see from me today. You're probably going to see two videos. You probably see this one first. This one's going to be a little about Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump and my opinion on it. The reason I'm giving you my opinion, it's a gut reaction to what's happened in the last few days, and I'm guessing that other people feel the way I do. And then I'm going to download a second video that I made yesterday about the worst or the most memorable. I still remember this. It's 20 years later, and I still remember one of the most worst, most painful withdrawals I ever went through, and how it still helps me today. Withdrawal from opioids. I say opioids because YouTube algorithms here. It's the big H. It's what you think it is. That's the reason I say opioids instead of a specific one, because it's harder to get advertising when I start getting really descriptive. All right, Nancy Pelosi. So in the last few days, the Republicans have taken the House, and I think there's a big sigh of relief. It almost comes across as like an in your face moment. The Republicans and Trumpers around me have not failed to make sure, ha, we did it, I understand that, because their expectations were let down. So they're kind of relieved that they actually managed to put Nancy out of a job, as one of them told me, or fire her, or however they put it. And a lot of people, a good 4 or 5 people during my last couple of days, have not failed to make a point of telling me this. And I want to give you my reaction, because I think my reaction, I'm guessing it might be similar to some of yours. It doesn't bother me at all. I kind of think it's a good thing. Because Nancy Pelosi is saying she's getting out as a speaker, as a leader of the Democrats in general. She's more or less retiring from the position. Now, if I'm not mistaken, she's been doing this for 20 years. And here's why. I think it's, so these Republicans, these Trumpers have been saying this to me. And, I'm kind of saying good, not good that they took the House, that they have the majority of the House. And that is what it is. But I'm kind of glad that she is retiring. I'm a big supporter of Nancy Pelosi's, but I think she's become a lightning rod in the last 5 or 6 years, especially. Man, I love, the moments I remember most. It's kind of an in-your-face thing to the Trumpers, when she ripped up the speech, or Donald Trump did. I'll use this picture in my thumbnail, where Donald Trump turns around after his State of the Union address, and Nancy Pelosi is giving him this big, overemphasized, F-you clap. I'll use that on my thumbnail. And these are the things I remember most. Nancy Pelosi, I think she's ceased being effective. What she is just a thorn in the side of the Republicans, as Donald Trump, I believe Donald Trump is. I think Donald Trump has contributed all he's ever going to contribute to the United States. The whole MAGA movement. People, there's going to be a lot of people out there that argue that's a great thing, and it's a great idea, and they want to push forward with it. But I think it's time to grow, to move forward. Just like Nancy Pelosi has become a lightning rod, I think Donald Trump is also, he's given what he needs to give to the country. And it takes a lot for me to say that, because I dislike everything about him. But if he did have anything good to give to the country, he's given it to the country now. And it really is, after taking, a president serving 4 terms and another 4 terms, 2 terms in a row is one thing. But now he's been out of office. The United States has moved forward. We have moved forward. And personally, I just don't believe he has anything else to contribute to the United States. I don't. I think it is really all about revenge, about him getting some kind of revenge, and his followers getting revenge. And I think he's become a lightning rod, a thorn in the side of the Democrats, just like Nancy Pelosi is a thorn in the side of the Republicans. And neither of these things are in the end, we all have to admit, neither one of these things are good for us, for Americans. You know, they might provide us with a little temporary revenge, or that sick feeling of you know, like sticking it to you. But that's all it is, and that's not. And you know, in the end, I think we're all smart enough to realize that that's not good for us. You know, a lot of times that's quite the opposite. So, like I said, in the last few days, Republicans have been coming up to me and saying, "Yeah, you know, Nancy's out of there," and I guess they're expecting me to say, you know, be all angry and disgruntled about it. And I'm kind of glad. I really am. I think she's contributed everything she can contribute, everything that she has to contribute. And now she's just become more or less a lightning rod, a thorn in the side of Republicans. That's really all she is right now. And the same with Donald Trump. That's my true opinion. That neither one of these two, if you believe they've given something good to the country, I think they've given it. And, you know, it's time for us to move on. I think that's what the founding fathers had in mind when they made term limits and all this stuff. You know, I know legally Donald Trump could serve another 4 years. That's another thing, too, is if he does happen to win the presidency, that he can only serve 4 years. He can't serve another 8 years. That's not possible, hopefully. So these are just some thoughts I wanted to convey to you guys. And most of all, I kind of want to see what you think about this. You know, because I don't know if it was disappointing to the Trumpers when I wasn't all angry and disgruntled when they put that in my face about Nancy Pelosi. You know, I used to use that. You know, Audrey, my girlfriend who passed away, we used to argue. We used to have conversations in the morning while she was getting ready for work. And I would talk about how much I love Colin Kaepernick, and she would talk about how much she loves Donald Trump, and I would pull out Nancy Pelosi. You know, I would go like this. You know, I'd go like Nancy, and I'd say that to her, and it would just inflame her. You know, and that's really all she's become. You know, and I mean, I hate to say that, but it's the truth, and I think it's the same with Donald Trump. It's just a thorn in the side. If they've had anything to contribute, they've contributed, and it's really time for them to step aside. It's time for America to move forward, to grow. Having the two of these people, I mean, Nancy Pelosi obviously is already gone, but even having Donald Trump come back as president, I just, you know, even though I hate him and I can't name one good thing about him, you know, I think even his supporters have to realize that the time has passed. You know, he's given the MAGA movement. It's time for somebody else to, if you believe in the MAGA movement, it's time for somebody else to carry that forward. Like, people grow, America grows, we all grow and move forward. Going back to, it's like going back to an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife. It doesn't work. They have nothing left to offer. It's just the same situations that will arise and complications. Some of my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, and stay tuned. In a couple hours, I'm going to download the worst withdrawals I've ever had and why they still help me today. I think the thought of the remembrance of those particular horrific days, why they help me today. Have a good Friday.